Hello, friends, and welcome back to an After Dark edition pick a card reading. In today's video, we're going to be going into this isn't going to be your standard pick a card reading, but not so standard because it's after dark. Let's get mysterious. I know we should have done this in Halloween, but here we are going after it all. So we're going to be really looking at the remainder of the month within your love life. I have three separate decks or piles, I guess, in front of me. I will show you guys a close-up of each of the crystals so you can take a look. You can take a deep breath, get centered, and we can get started with your reading. So here we go. Here is crystal number one. Your first crystal, your first crystal is a tiger's eye. The second is a blue lace agate, and last one is opalite. Okay, take a moment, you guys, get centered, and let's get started. If this is the first time that we are meeting, well, hello. I am so glad that you have came by and we're hanging out today. Keep in mind, these are general readings designed, not science specific. If you want a science specific predictions, then just stay tuned for that because that's going to be coming up next week on this channel. But for now, these are your general readings designed for all signs. Some of the messages may resonate, some of them may not resonate. If it doesn't resonate, it might be a prediction. If it does resonate, then that's for you. Okay, let's begin with group number one. And of course, if you are brand new here, then consider subscribing if you haven't already. We chat at least 3 to 4 times a week here. We talk about anything and everything spirituality and spiritual practices, and we also go into yoga practices and how we can really work with the law of attraction to kind of manifest the life that you want. And that's kind of what we're going to be focused on today as well in today's reading, where we're really going to be focusing on your love life and how you can really manifest the love that you really truly want in your life. So here we go. Let's start with group number one. Group number one, first of all, here is your crystal, and let's chat. No two flowers are the same, yet all are beautiful in their own way. Comparisons are odious because they presume all other things are equal, which is never the case. What are you comparing? I feel like it's almost as if you're comparing yourself or you're comparing your reality. I want to create more space here. It's almost as if you are comparing who you are and how you are within relationships to others, and you're getting threatened. Why are you getting threatened? Where's this insecurity coming from? What's happening with you? You're generally pretty confident, I think, for the most part, but something is getting triggered. I'm kind of getting that something is getting triggered, and you're playing this comparison game where it's almost as if you keep telling yourself that other people have it better than you, or you're just not sure what to do, or you are, other people are prettier, smarter, more accomplished, further along in their journey. I'm kind of getting that, and therefore it's almost like it's almost like you're trying to convince yourself that you're not worthy of love. Here we go. Growing beyond guilt. What do you feel guilty about? It couldn't have happened any other way. Did you hurt someone? I feel like some of you guys have hurt someone, and right now it's almost like you're telling yourself that you're not worthy of love, or you're not worthy of that ideal relationship because you perhaps mistreated people, or like you feel like you have maybe you let someone on unintentionally. It's like you feel guilty about something that you did that really, it's like there was no other, those people that came along were never really truly in alignment with you, but yet you're still sitting here feeling bad about it. Why is that? Interesting. Collaboration of souls. and overthinking can spoil the magic. I think that you're very much in your head about how things, it's almost like you have this attachment of how things should be instead of just allowing them to be exactly what they are, where they are, and just kind of unfold as we go. I feel like you have this really strong attachment to not, it's like you don't want to repeat the past. You don't want to repeat past mistakes, which I get, but I think that playing the comparison game is a surefire way. And the more you obsess about this, the more you're going to be pulling that in towards you. And I think that it's creating a lot of friction within your relationship unintentionally or unnecessarily, I guess, because it's creating tension that you really, creating drama that you really don't need, when really you don't need to have drama. Like you could have it relatively easy, you know. Yeah, like I feel like there is that sense of like coming together. There is that sense of like the souls wanting to connect, but that at the same time, the more you're obsessing over the past, the more you're inviting more problems instead of just releasing the past, releasing what was, releasing the mistakes, forgiving yourself in the process, and stop comparing yourself to other people and just shine as you. Find your own authentic you and shine from that place, because if you're constantly going to be comparing of what was, then you're never leaving space of what can be. Like you're never going to know who you become with this person unless you create space and you release what was in the past or how you shown up in the past, you know. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Here we go. So we have the Page of Swords in reverse. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. You also have, actually, let me just make some space here. Hopefully you can see. Page of Swords in reverse. You have Page of Wands in reverse. We also have the Six of Pentacles also in reverse, and everything's in reverse. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. This whole overthinking thing, you know, it's really affecting you. And I feel like you're also feeling like you're getting, it's like you're getting super attacked on, maybe you feel like you're getting attacked on social media. I'm going to attack first before people kind of get to me. You know? I'm going to go after this first before they get to me. And I also think that you also kind of want your person to, you want him to message you, you want him to come after you, you want him to really make that effort. Oh, nice. I like this. We'll figure it out. So I feel like there's a sense of, you want to kind of protect your own energy, and you want to do that because you feel bad about what happened, and so you will do whatever it takes in whatever way, shape, or form to be able to kind of protect that little cocoon that you created, that inner world that you created for yourself. Because really, maybe people are attacked, maybe you feel like I feel like this is more about like a fear of people attacking you or judging you. But at the same time, you're also kind of sitting here like your person will actually see you for who you are. They will see you and they will message you, and you guys can kind of start moving forward, and you will create some progress. But I'm also kind of seeing that you're kind of guarding yourself at the same time. And then in the meanwhile, and you don't want to, like, that's where that whole overthinking is coming from, where I just kind of feel like it's like you don't want to ask for someone to be with you. I think that this whole thing is coming from, you don't want to ask for someone to be with you because you don't want to be a charity case. You don't want people's pity. You want them to be with you for you. You don't want them to be with you because they feel bad for you, or because you're down on your luck, or because of guilt, you know? Like, as much as you feel guilty, but you don't want others to pity you. And then in the meanwhile, you're also kind of trying to, like, you know that, like, especially if you are with this person, then you also have this thing with you where you are willing to work on it. Or I think that you know that you're you know that you're going to be working on it, or you want to make the effort of kind of working things out, but that what's kind of messing you up is this whole comparison game of you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, to what your idea is of an ideal relationship. So spirit is really just telling you one thing: you need to learn to really release this idea of how it was and forgive yourself. Like, the underlying message here is to release it, because really it had to happen the way that it happened, not to make you feel bad, but it had to happen the way that it happened. Like, if previous relationships didn't work out, there was a reason for that. Things that are meant for you, they stay, and things that are not meant for you, you're supposed to learn to release them, so that you create space for something better. So this is all I have for you, group number 1. I hope that this has resonated. Stay tuned until the end, because I will pull a couple of crystal cards that you can use for the remainder of the month to help and guide you. So let's go into group number 2. Group number 2, welcome to your reading. Here is your crystal. Nice and close up. Here is your multi-lace agate. And let's see what is coming up for you in your love life. What are you manifesting right now? Love is the reason. Each person in your life is there for a reason, and the reason always has something to do with love. Like me, the universe. It's as if, like, some of you are sort of wondering and doubting why certain people are showing up in your relationships. Like, I'm definitely getting that. It's like you're wondering, or like there's a almost like a fear of, will I lose this person? Will I is it really for me? You know, ultimately what I'm getting here is this person really for me? Is this person here to stay? And no matter what, whether it's for good or for bad, you're either going to be learning from that person, or you're literally meant to kind of calibrate your energies together because you're in alignment. So you're going to have to feel for it, of see sort of what feels right, what feels like in alignment. What does that really feel like for you? You know, but I feel like you end up doubting the validity of the people that kind of come into your space out of fear. You know, you end up doubting who comes in, why does that person come in, because you don't know how to trust. And Spirit is asking you to start trusting. Greeting wellness. Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. Yeah, I feel like perhaps you are kind of creating some healthier, you're creating some healthier habits around how you show up in your relationships. You're creating some healthier habits around, you know, not calling obsessively. I'm not getting the whole clinging. I'm not getting, like, I feel like you guys are, it's almost like you're learning how to, you're manifesting that ideal love. You're manifesting that ideal relationship where you're feeling happy and balanced and things are actually in flow. And I think that you're sort of a little bit freaked out by it because it's not your norm, you know, like it's almost like, it's like, oh shit, like that's not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that will work out. It's sort of like that idea of what happens when I manifest that dream guy. What if I manifest that dream relationship, right? Like, what will I do? Who will I become? Because then now you don't have the excuse of, you know, well, of course it didn't work out. Like, they're terrible, you know. What does your soul say? I feel like you're not listening. You're not wanting to listen to the nudges of the universe. I feel like you don't want to listen to your own intuition. And I feel like you're sort of fighting it. You're sort of fighting the signs. Like, no matter how many signs you're getting from the universe that says things are okay and they're in alignment, you're sort of like, no, let's kind of, basically what I'm getting is your fear is getting the best of you. You're going through like this mass ego death, some of you. I also kind of feel like you don't know kind of what to do with that. Shift the way to a new potential. I feel like whether we're looking at old relationships or new relationships, I feel like this is all very positive, but I feel like this whole underlying message is like lack of self-love, really, and self-respect, but self-respect from a space of like you feeling worthy of love, you feeling deserving of the people that are kind of coming into your space. And I feel like you have a hard time accepting that because you've had like a lot of challenges in the past, right? Let's see what the tarot has to say. We have King of Swords in reverse. We have the Death card in reverse. We have Five of Swords in reverse. We have Eight of Wands upright. And we have the Magician in reverse. Let's unpack. It's like you're trying to like logic your way through problems. You know, and again, like the Death card showing up is literally like this ego death. It's like it's hiding in plain sight, right? Like it's hiding in plain sight, and it's something that this form of transformation is like right in your face, yet you don't want to acknowledge it, right? You don't want to kind of look at it head on. You just kind of want to be just lost in the crowd and almost be invisible, you know? But it's like, but you ignoring the problem is not really going to make this, the only way through is through, basically. That's the underlying message here. I also feel like I'm kind of getting that you are sort of targeting anyone and everyone. And honestly, like, I feel like you're just being asked to kind of start releasing these negative and really harmful old habits that are really they were never serving you, you know? Like that's ultimately what it is, because you can attack all the people in the world, but really, like, if you can do this, if you can actually release this idea that your old crappy coping mechanisms, if you can leave them in the past, you're going to get good news. You're literally going to be shifting into, you're going to be getting what you actually want. Like, it's all positive. However, you need to go through the transformation. You have to be seen, you have to actually witness them, that they are what they need to be, right? And I also think that you need to stop using your old coping mechanisms like that's the way through, because it's not, you know? And honestly, tap into this idea that the magic is actually already within you. You have all of the things, you have all of the tools for you to show up as a version of you that is absolutely worthy of love, absolutely able to manifest. Like, you have to understand that you're very, very powerful, but I think that sometimes we tend to give our power away because we get in our own way. And right now, Spirit is really asking you to shift. So like the center of this entire reading is this: shift shift the way, shift how you get there, shift your mindset, shift the way that you thought you were showing up, shift the idea of how you were looking at yourself. You know what I mean? You have to kind of like really release this idea that you're not an ideal partner. You need to release this idea. You need to be like this perfect healed version of yourself in order for you to be worthy of love. Like, that's not how it works. Most of us are still broken, but yet, you know, we still show up with an open heart. We still do the work, you know, like that's still absolutely possible. And honestly, be very open and very receptive to the idea of doing things a newer way, releasing old habits that are really not serving you, release old coping mechanisms that were really not getting you, because ultimately they were not getting you what you wanted anyway. So that proof is always in the pudding. Proof is always in like what you thought should be versus what was the end result. So this is all I have for you. Group number 2, stay tuned until the end, because I will pull a couple of healing crystals that I think will be helpful in kind of navigating this minefield here. So let's go into group number 3. Okay, you guys, group number 3, here we go. Here is your beautiful crystal. I will once again show you guys a nice little close-up, and let's see what you're manifesting, how you're manifesting within your relationships. You have what it takes. Oh, don't you ever. Always follow your heart unless it's been broken. Then you must lead it. You have what it takes. So I feel like some of you are still perhaps licking your wounds from previous relationships for this idea of what was, and it's like that fear of, will you love again? I'm kind of getting, will I love again? Am I ready? I'm kind of getting, am I ready? That's what I'm getting right now. I'm not getting, it's like, are you ready to open up your heart again? Are you ready to really meet all of the potential that love has to offer? But I mean, the better question is, and always is, it's always like, beyond, are you ready to accept? I guess the fear is always the same of, will I manifest the exact same problems that I manifested before? And honestly, the opposite of that is going to be true. And I tell you guys this all the time. You have to be open to the possibility of not manifesting problems, but manifesting love, manifesting opportunities, manifesting relationships that are really here to guide you and show you in how much you're able to open up, in how much you're able to love, right? Invoking self-realization. Each breath confirms how awake I already am. It's like you're waking up to, you're realizing ultimately, I think that some of you are really contemplating how the past was, your past mistakes, but then also I think that some of you are really realizing of the type of partner that you are becoming, the type of partner that you are evolving into. And part of that has a lot to do with realizing the mistakes that you made and then how you want to kind of move forward. How do we want to move forward? In flow with money. Okay. I feel like perhaps the last relationship, or the relationship maybe that you're contemplating on right now, really left you broken emotionally, broken physically, broken financially. So right now I'm kind of getting this fear of, what if they take advantage of me? And again, like, this whole self-realization piece is very interesting to me, because I just feel like it's very much like touches on this fear of, I don't know, like, personally, like, whenever people get into relationships, most of the time it's not because of money. Here's what I'm getting, okay? Now we kind of put it together. I feel like you don't feel worthy of new relationships because there was a change in how you walked out of your previous relationship. And when you're feeling, it's like when you're feeling like you don't have enough, you're not showing up as the partner that you want to show up as, you know what I mean? You're not showing up as someone who is well established. You're not showing up as someone who has a lot of resources behind them. So like there's this attachment to how much money you have versus how much you're worthy of love, right? Which it shouldn't be the case, but unfortunately that's how you're feeling, or at least that's what's kind of coming through. There's something going on with money. There's something going on with the way that you're relating to finances, that it's really affecting you in being able to manifest the type of relationship that you really want. And you're also kind of waking up to that perhaps your previous relationship, there's something going on with this whole money thing. But I think that what's happening with money is that you're truly actually realizing that, like, perhaps something happened in the past. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you got taken advantage of, or you got into relationships with lack of boundaries where Hopefully we're actually recording this. Maybe. Yeah, looks like we are. I think that you're sort of feeling like you're going to be repeating the mistakes of the past. You're sort of realizing not only where you made a mistake, but I think that you're also sort of realizing that perhaps this idea of, you know, how things were in the past had very little to do with money. Like, I think that you guys are going through, some of you are going through this whole healing journey with your finances, and it's with your relationship with finances and how you relate to finances, because then that's going to be shifting in how you're showing up into like the worthiness of a relationship, and you're not really going to be really attaching that to, you're not going to be attaching that within a relationship, right? Because then the other part of it is this guy where you're sort of setting up all of these different limitations of how you're not worthy of it. Like, you keep trying to convince yourself that you're not worthy of a good and healthy relationship, even though you are doing the work. I'm sorry, if you're doing the work, you're going to be pulling a different set of energy towards you. And I think that that's ultimately the underlying message here, that you need to be willing to change your mind about what you thought your worth is, and it's generally not attached to money. Money is just an exchange system. That's all it is. It has not much to do with your worthiness of love. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles in upright, Queen of Wands in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles also in reverse. So let's unpack. So I feel like you have, again, we're back to this whole money thing, but we are also back to this whole manifesting thing. I think that this is more to do with manifestation and what you're manifesting within the relationship. Then I feel like you have your eye definitely on, you're becoming a lot more clear. That's what it is. You're becoming a lot more clear of truly the abundance that you're manifesting. And then that relates to the love, that relates to the relationship, that relates to the type of people around you, that relates to how you show up in relationships, right? And that also relates to how you're actually manifesting money within your work. I also feel like you're definitely feeling this, or you're going to be tapping into this energy of really pouring the love back into you, you know? Pouring the love back into you, deciding on the momentum that you're going to be moving into. Because like she's all like, listen, I see you. I see where we're going. I have my eyes on the prize. And she's all like, I see myself. And I see that it starts with me. I see that it absolutely starts with me. If I want to kind of go places, I really want to just go places. I feel like this urge of, you know, like manifesting this partner or having this partner who is on board with the going to places, and perhaps mentally that person might not be there at the moment. They might not be there just yet, right? Or maybe they are leaving, whatever the case may be. They might either be leaving or you're just itching to go, but they just feel like they might be just like slipping through your fingers. Either way, I think that if they are leaving, let them leave. If you're itching to go, you know that you are a master manifester. I don't know, what can I tell you? I mean, I think that you need to kind of get really, really clear of like the direction that you want to go, and then start creating that reality for yourself. I think that in order for you to really truly have that relationship where you're fully seen, you're fully loved, you're fully supported in all the ways, you need to kind of give that to yourself first, you know? And again, like I also see that you're sort of like, it's like that need to shield away from the storm. It's almost like you want to kind of create that little cocoon where you're really protecting what's yours, you're really creating what's yours, but you're also kind of protective of it. It very much just kind of goes back into being in the flow of abundance, you know, being in the flow. And I think that you guys need to kind of recalibrate your energy a little bit so that you can be in the flow, because if you're not, then it will always feel like it's always going to be leading with lack, you know, and you're always kind of going to feel like you're being shortchanged one way or another, whether it's with the relationship or with the people around you or with their energy. You're always going to feel like you're being shortchanged. Well, you really don't need to. Like, you're absolutely abundant. You know the direction that you're going into. You know the people that you kind of want to pull back to your life, right? But I think that this is the center of it all. Like, I think that once you're clear about this, stay within that energy, stay within that state, because then that way you can kind of continue to kind of pull that towards you a little bit more. This is all I have for you, group number 3. Stay tuned until the very end. I will be pulling a couple of crystals that I think will be helping you in the next couple of weeks. So let's go. All right, y'all, we have made it. We have made it, you guys, to the end. First of all, thanks so much for sticking around. Let's see what is coming up for all of you collectively that I think would be helpful. And let's see what's coming up for you guys that I think will be helpful. Let's see what can be helpful for you guys, what crystals can help you in this manifestation process and in your relationships in the next couple of weeks. So first up, we have black kyanite. And black kyanite, let me just get you guys zoomed in. Black kyanite is all about boundaries, all about protecting your own energy, your own beautiful little cocoon, your own inner energy, but also the energy of those that you love the most. So I think that if you can stay within that state, and well, first of all, if you have kyanite, work with it, because it literally wards off negative energy. It's fantastic. And the next one is red jasper, which is all about taking action. Use the Mars energy this week, you guys. Mars and Mercury is definitely in your favor right now. You're going to have some really tough conversations, but also it's going to really ignite you to go and take action, because otherwise none of this will manifest the way that you're actually contemplating it on. So it's going to be all about how much action can you take. Stop sitting on the sidelines, you guys, because honestly, that's not really going to help anybody. It's not going to help you kind of bring towards you what is absolutely yours. This is all I have. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, you already know what to do. You can give me a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. And I will see you guys again in my next one. Bye.